Maleek Basintale. They say the most fearful communicator ever Ghana, Maleek Basintale. Basintale chere say forgiveness fache. Maleek mesro. Tia break kakrawate. Na fache ya no so kakrawate. Aden na wote nkrofo sa. Say according to TV and radio morning show producers, any political show producers, almost say omo free MPP communicator bi a wo se wo ma. Omo fra no omo bisa. Me ne hwan na eba be hia. Omo ka se Maleek Basintale pe do agifum. O se ne memma. Aden small boy na wote now we can say MPP for say we have the men. Sana bola goose. As MPP for uncle for men mra. Ejako. Omunko for men mra. Tabita kum. Ne ponk sepo na bo muta so. Mr. Pokle enem the man nyina kreja yusu. Be mo da su yusu. We mo. No mo san ko fa man so mra. Wa mia. Kakapoi. Basintale sesi ano. Wa man krofo esuro. He. Me see NDC for he just say young boys are John Mahama Kwame papa bi etete wo mo a me say ya na Haruna Idris no muntaka omo ha adwenya na fe de betisi NDC Van Dam okuja to ablakwa wote si sa sofu ya wakwakodi ayi National Cathedral sikaya sesi a wa be hye nkom se ba mi abawini na nka wo kra nka be hye nkom atia ho or a candidate for jail. What it is, aqua ways as they say, or the aqua si jankromaso. A see ambulance and was, hey, Okuja to a blackwa. None if he says he won one as Sammy Gyamfi to see mu. I'm posing NDC busli. Or no so bomb gag. Na Edda Magbanano son and none underground honum. No more can see any. One Sam George Tissimu. Jonah Pokofa Trumuba na Sam George is a henna. And a Ghana for so. Hey, Sam George so tisi mu and also point. Afedi yetete ho. Etete wa na bugina pon so tama PDS buy no. John Jinapo pani no. Enye keto na omu ade na MPP. Moja na wura no mu no. John Jinapo, my apparatus brother. One also how omu PDS issue no sa no man timi amoye nkro no. E na afedi MPP fo ni mi se akoda si omo ho atomo. Ye wo ho se Basintale. Akwa we na Trinity wo ba no bi edwa. See a wish ya Maleek Basintale edwane. So we need facts. Now wish ya Maleek Basintale edwane. Already almost start to create edwane. See ya from a or say why na me ni kwesi. Omo ka se Maleek Basintale pause me ma. Mo se san se obi for fraud ya. We ye mistake obegu eni ma se.
Seek to first share positions among their family members. And what they did by first was that the president appointed his cousin, Nana Sentibedie to as executive secretary. Now he even has 2 appointments as ambassador. The president appointed his Nana Bedie Tuo's father, Kofi Dako Asante, as chairman on the Gimpa Council. The president appointed Mrs. Vida Asante, who is the mother of Nana Sentibedie Tuo, as the Ghana head of the president's household. The president appointed Kwesi Kutu Asante, the brother of Asante Bedie Tuo again, as a board member of the hostels board. The president appointed Loretta Ochere, the sister of Nana Sentibedie Tuo. So one Asante Bedie Tuo, his father, his mother, his brother, his sister, his son have all been appointed. I leave the Bedie Tuo family. Ken Oforata, president's cousin, was appointed finance minister. Samuel Atachia, who is the president's family, was appointed the minister of works and housing. Kwesi Amoakwata, who is the president's cousin again, was appointed minister for roads and highways. Duke Oforata, who is the president's cousin, was appointed the senior presidential staffer. Gabi Asaroche. The first time I mentioned this document, and yesterday I went through the clips and I saw the first time I actually mentioned Agyapadie on this platform, TV3. It was in 2018. The video is available. And I told you by then that this document is the mindset of greed. It is the mindset of wickedness. It is the mindset of cruelty. selfishness, and how a particular family seek to will this country and the future of this country, together with all its resources, to their descendants, as inscribed in the foreword of this particular Agyapadie document.
But we've had the Agyapadie as well as Gabi also come to dispute some of these things.
I am
because
particularly concerned because I am not the descendant of Nana Epienim Kaframa. I am not the descendant of Nana Kuntun Kununku. I am not a descendant of Nano Foripenyi. My name is Basintale, and I am a descendant of Basintale. You are Roland Walker. You are a descendant of the Walker people. Together with all of us, including Mr. Jantua, is a descendant of the Jantua caucus. I don't find their name here. Does that mean all of us on this platform are not parts of the will of the future and the resources of this country? Does that mean? One, I listened to President Akufo-Addo say that the Agyapadie document had nothing to do with him. Preposterous. The things that have been enrolled
so it's a conspiracy
in the Agyapadie document could only be found in the mindsets of two people. One, Nanado. Two, Baumia. Why do I say so? In 2018, how could we have predicted that EcoBank, that has a seat, or SNET, that has a seat at EcoBank, will finally see that their deputy CEO is upgraded into a CEO who is the son, and it is here. I wish to quote verbatim. The deputy CEO SNET, Kofi Bosompem Osafo-Maafo, the son of Osafo-Maafo. How could we have predicted, if indeed we wrote it, that Kofi Osafo-Maafo will be made the chief executive or director general of SNET and will be given a seat at EcoBank, so the government has full stakes in EcoBank? This particular thing happened 7 years after the Agyapadie document first came into force. And who did that appointment? President Akufo-Addo. Number two, how could we have seen to it that the deputy Sankuma's wife will be lobbied, Madam Josephine Anna Nankuma, would finally be lobbied and made the CEO of EcoBank, Kenya, all because this document said they wanted to have international stakes and control over resources wherever they found themselves. Number three, how could we have predicted that indeed this government will finally print to a tune of 78 billion from the Bank of Ghana, all because they had their proteges. They had people they could control in persons of Addison, and illegally they could print this amount of money so they could save as a family. How could we have predicted that? How could we have predicted that Data Bank in 2022 will become the international financial advisor to all bonds that were issued in this country? How could we have predicted? But in this document, it told us that one of the grand schemes by this particular Nanado Baumia family will be to skew and ensure that Data Bank becomes a transactional advisor to the government of Ghana.
Well, he says it should be dismissed. It's just a conspiracy document.
How could we have predicted?
You have 3 minutes on this.
How could we have predicted that Enterprise Group that belongs to Kenofurata will finally become the state insurer of all state assets in this country?
What do you mean by state insurer?
All state assets are being insured by Enterprise Group, and Enterprise Group belongs to Mr. Kenofurata. All, including state vehicles, are being insured by them. How could we have predicted? You see, what baffles my heart is that in this grand scheme of Agyapadie document, it speaks about how they were going to appoint their cronies, family and friends into office. Fast forward, even the latest is how President Akufo-Addo gave our ambulance spare part contract to his daughter, Jenkroma, to execute. So among 30 million Ghanaians, you couldn't find anyone to give this contract to other than your daughter. For the first time in the history of this country, and I have a list here, just 2 minutes so that I land on this.
Maleek, wrap up.
In this state capture, this Kojo, Mr. Dankwa family, descendants of J.B. Dankwa, who never even believed in the independence of this country, seek to first share positions among their family members. And what they did by first was that the president appointed his cousin, Nana Senti Bedie, as executive secretary. Now he even has 2 appointments as ambassador. The president appointed his Nana Bediye Tuo's father, Kofi Dako Asante, as chairman on the Gimpa Council. The president appointed Mrs. Vida Asante, who is the mother of Nana Asante Bediye Tuo, as the Ghana head of the president's household. The president appointed Kwesi Kutu Asante, the brother of Asante Bediye Tuo again, as a board member of the hostels board. The president appointed Loretta Ochere, the sister of Nana Asante Bediye Tuo. So one Asante Bediye Tuo, his father, his mother, his brother, his sister, his son have all been appointed. I leave the Bediye Tuo family. Ken Oforata, president's cousin, was appointed finance minister. Samuel Atachia, who is the president's family, was appointed the minister of works and housing. Kwesi Amoakwata, who is the president's cousin again, was appointed minister for roads and highways. Duko Foriata, who is the president's cousin, was appointed the senior presidential staffer. Gabi Asaroche Dako, of course, didn't get an appointment, but we know who is the prime minister of this country.
No, you cannot say.
Nana
How do you draw those conclusions?
The wife of Gabi Asaroche Dako was appointed a board member at GMPC.
Wrap up.
Mr. Eko Hackman, the brother of Gabi Asaroche Dako's wife, was appointed board chairman of BOST. Rodelin Bafo Jima, President Akufo-Addo's cousin, was appointed board member Gwel. Mr. Alex Bafo Jima, the husband of Rodelin Jima, that is President Akufo-Addo's in-law, was appointed the board chairman of Ghana Gaming Commission. Nana Fredua Oforiata was appointed the board chairman of the Ghana Theatre, National Theatre. I can go on and go on. One family, Nanado Baumia, who was appointed his brother Mumini Baumia, the Interior Ministry. His sister Laraba was former NDA boss. She's now the gender minister. His wife's father, Mr. Ramadan, who is ambassador to Saudi Arabia. His wife's brother, Abu Ramadan, who is deputy CEO of NADMO. Why should this state capture occur at this particular time? And all these things, all these attempts to capture the wealth and assets of this country, especially through the Agyapadie resources, was orchestrated in this book and has been successfully implemented. So, Mr.
The president does insist that this is just a conspiracy theory, and so it should be discussed.
Then whoever wrote this is more powerful than the mind of Mr. Akufo-Addo, because the person could read the brain of Mr. Akufo-Addo 7 years after this book first came into force. So they should stop that. Look, my worry, and to land on this, Roland, is that I'm a poor northern boy who seeks to progress the fortunes of this country. We have poor Voltarians watching us. We have poor Ashantis watching us. We have poor Benin people watching us. None of us are descendants of this J.B. Dankwa family. So please, an attempt to will the future of this country means that me, my children, Mr. John Tuo's children, your children, my brother's children, will not have any option than to finally go out of this country and struggle. Because the plans, evil plans of Mr. Akufo-Addo and Baumia, is to whale our resources and ensure that only their